really awesome video game.
Okay. Portfolio. This is a big deal. You want to be a writer? You want to be a writer in games? Great. You gotta have a portfolio to show. I mean, when you apply for some of these job openings, a lot of which were on LinkedIn, by the way. I talked in the last video about how LinkedIn might seem, just like an old person's place to be, but a lot of narrative designer job openings and game writing job openings are posted there. Um, you know, people want you to submit samples, but so you got to have samples. You got to have a portfolio, and I also recommend parking them on your website so anybody can take a look at them at any time should they find you. And specifically, what will set you apart from the pack is having writing samples of interactive fiction, because that's the job of writing. We're writing interactive fiction. I do know of people who are hired. See my dog. Hey, Tilly girl. Who's a good girl? She's mad at me. She's locked out of the office. I do know people who are hired in the game industry on the strength of two people who are hired into the game industry on the strength of some like their short stories and stuff. I don't know how common that is, but what'll set you apart from other candidates is that even as someone who hasn't worked professionally yet as a narrative designer, game writer, you have samples of interactive fiction that you even went through the trouble to write interactive fiction. Sets you apart from the pack. So let me say a few things in general about the portfolio, and then I'm gonna show you a tool, a free tool that you can use to help create and show off interactive fiction that you write. So you want to have the stuff that you're most proud of. Maybe you have a ton of stuff. That's great. It just means just focus on the cream of the crop. And you want to have it on your website, and you want to have it freely available to email upon people upon request. So if you have a lot of stuff, great. Whatever, poems, short stories, play that you wrote, have it pretty well organized. That's my son Michael. He's going camping tomorrow, and I'm a little nervous with his friends. He's 17, but yeah, he'll be fine. You want it well organized, okay? So focus on the cream of the crop. Organize it well. Short stories, plays, interactive fiction, okay? And be aware that people who are hiring you aren't going to sit there and read the entire play you wrote. Possibly not even read the entire short story, unless they're enthralled. They might. Take samples of selected works, the cream of the crop, the stuff you're most proud of. So from a short story, even, it might be an excerpt. A play, it might be a scene, or two. That different, maybe a couple different scenes that they can click on and look at. Be selective and be brief, but you want to show off what you can do and what you're most proud of. In that sense, if you are if some of your samples are excerpts, it's okay to have a little paragraph at the beginning there that breaks the fourth wall, that gives some context for it. This is a scene from a play that I wrote, and just enough to kind of set it up for the reader, so that when they read the scene, they have a little bit of context that they might have otherwise have already gotten had they read through the whole play or sat and watched the whole play. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. But most importantly, I want to introduce you to a free tool that you can use to create interactive fiction and show it off. Okay? this particular tool, there are several like it. This particular tool is called Twine. And if you're not familiar with Twine, I will just read from their website. But Twine is an open source tool for telling interactive, non-linear stories. You don't need to write any code to create a simple story with Twine, but you can extend your story. Okay, blah, 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 blah. And give me a second. I'll film my screen here and we'll poke around at it. All right, hang on. Be patient. Chill. Take it easy. I'm recording my entire screen here, and here I am at twinery.org. TWINERY.org. And I have downloaded the desktop app. You can download it for all kinds of stuff. Mac, Linux, Windows, stuff like that. Confession. I've never used Twine. I haven't had to. I think by the time this thing got really rocking and rolling, I was already in the game industry working for clients, and I would use their proprietary stuff if necessary, or I just be writing stuff in Final Draft, screenwriting software, or Excel or Microsoft, whatever the client wanted. So I never used Twine for anything, but you can use it because again it's free, and you probably saw if you watched my videos, writing interactive narrative can get pretty tricky pretty quickly. Even a conversation with some simple branching and some simple logic can be pretty difficult to illustrate in Excel or other things like that. And Twine takes does all that heavy lifting for you. With Twine, you can design interactive stories, and you can design individual scenes with interactive branching dialogue much easier. They make it much easier. They take a lot of the work out of it, the hard work out of it for you. Now, as you saw on sort of their homepage here, you don't need to write any code. But what you will do when you're working with Twine is you will do probably what I would say is a little scripting. In other words, it's programming. Maybe it's programming light, for lack of a better phrase, because there's logic involved here, right? If the player goes into a room, okay, is it the first time that they've been in the room, or they've been here before? The description they might see might be a little different the first time. Here's a bunch of games people have already made with Twine and put up on I don't know what it's itch.io. I don't know. I don't really go on here much. Zorlork, dark comedy about a demon. I like it already. A lot of these games will just run in your browser. You can even run Twine sound. Okay, I like sound. All right, turn that down a little bit. Okay. So going back to the scripting, you will, with Twine's help, you'll decide what the logic is, right? If the player makes this choice, this happens. If they make a different choice, something else happens. That kind of thing. And so, of course, you have to. Sorry. Sounds like my son's friends are coming over. You're just going to have to deal with it. We're live. We're doing it live, sort of. So, going through the disclaimers here. But here's the beginning of Zorlok. Dark waves rippling across the Barluian Sea reflect the crimson light of a blood moon. Okay. Anxiety floods into your stomach as you realize it's time. If this is going to happen, Samson, it has to be now. Kind of a cold open here. You spent the past 3 weeks studying furiously, tearing through forbidden tomes, scrolls, and codices, obsessed with discovering some means to your dark ends. As you gaze out of the tower window, you feel a cold wind upon your back, a breeze which reminds you of death's frigid breath. You cheated them once before, you won't be so lucky next time. Not without help. Sprawled across the floor behind you is an intricate design painted in blood. Your blood. Oh. Pentagram carefully embellished with infernal script and wicked symbols forms your summoning circle. You've memorized the incantation. You've gathered all the material components. You've done everything you can. Let's see if it's enough. Tommy, roll one last religion check. Okay, Tommy shifts uncomfortably in his seat. This is the moment he's been looking forward to for weeks. Samson's entire character arc hinges upon this moment. Please, he begs, the dice gods, be merciful. Shaking the 20-sided die in his fist, he feels the wheels of fate turning. With a quick blow for luck, Tommy casts the die onto the table. Okay, so we had a little cold open here. That was a bit of a misdirect. And some interactivity. We can roll the dice. I didn't know Twine had that feature. Oh, nat 20, baby. Oh, yeah. I don't know if that was purely random, but I don't care. I'll take it. Natural 20. Now, if it was indeed a random dice roll, you can kind of tell. Had I rolled something else, okay. So this is probably what you see if you roll a 20. And maybe you see something else if you roll a 1. And then so on and so forth. Because it's interactive, right? Are you serious? Levi asks, knocking an empty bag of Doritos on the floor as he leans across the table. Check it out, Tommy grins, passing the die over for his friend's inspection. Tommy turns to Clara with a mischievous grin. So, does a nat 20 succeed? He asked, attempting to adopt a cool and confident air. A chuckle of approval escapes Jin's throat, and Tommy's smile grows. Yeah, I'd say a nat 20 is sufficient, Clara laughs, tossing her long red curls behind her shoulder as she goes back into Dungeon Master mode. Okay? Pretty cool. And look, and you can accompany. You could do this using the process that I pause the music. Stop. Using the process that I showed you. Okay, you could use Twine to create a story, an interactive story, and write interactive dialogue. Twine has all kinds of tutorials and just all kinds of stuff. There's all these great communities of people who help you and hopefully be nice. It's really cool stuff. I wish I had this really when I was in high school. So you can use the process that I showed you, and you can create interactive fiction using Twine or something similar. There's things that are out there similar to Twine, but Twine's been around a long time. Things like a lot of cool features here, free. Again, great tutorials, lots of games you can play to kind of see what other people are doing with it, and all that community support and all that stuff. You can create interactive fiction, and you can show it off. You could create a whole game, put it on itch.io. I have a feeling I'm pronouncing that wrong, that I'm boomering that up somehow. I don't know quite how, but that's got nothing. That's something. That's some other nerd stuff. Get it? See, this has all been leading up to this. Yeah, I've taught you a process, and there's a free tool that you can use to make it happen. Take your idea, flowchart it out. Think about the characters, right? Have a story treatment. Think about the characters. Flowchart it out. Have a walkthrough, and then create it. Now these are text adventures, right? Okay. I mean, you saw some. We could do maybe some dice rolling, some music. I'm not sure if I think actually Twine can handle maybe some illustrations and things. I'm not really sure, to be honest. So hell, if you can draw, maybe you can do sort of a little interactive fiction story game with maybe some illustrations. Granted, okay, we can't make a first person shooter with this, but that's not the point. The point is you want to showcase your interactive writing, and you want to showcase that you care enough to even create to come here and create interactive fiction. You know what I'm saying? And and maybe your grand idea is a first person shooter, so maybe you just do some scenes from the first person shooter, some interactive dialogue from a grand game you want to make one day, or maybe you just make. I recommend starting baby steps. You know, make a short interactive experience using Twine, and then make a longer one, and a longer one after that if you want. As you get better, you can get more ambitious. Do something short that you can finish. Feel good about finishing, and build a portfolio of interactive shit. And that's great. You should be kind of excited right now. All right, hang on. Yeah, okay. So that's Twine, and again, there's other tools like that, but I point people to Twine because it seems really robust, and again, it's been around a long time, so there's a pretty big community around it. And you've got the knowledge, okay? You've got the tools, and it's just up to you to put it together and work at it. You know, you had the creativity, you had the work, and you don't have to be perfect about it. You know, but just get in, get your hands dirty. Just get in. You're a narrative designer. Congratulations. Make some interactive fiction, and keep making it. Get better. It's okay if it's the first one sucks, the second one sucks, the third. It's like that with everything. They say every novelist has a bunch of bad novels in them. Get them out of the way, right? um, but that's it, man. There's the process. Twine is the tool. Build your portfolio. Present yourself well, confidently, focused, professionally. Create a portfolio, and you're on your way. So I'll talk a little bit more in another video about finding your first gig. It won't be very long. I'll tell you what I can. It's hard, but don't give up. Work that other day job, and when you can, create a portfolio using Twine. I mean, what do you got to lose? It's fun. Worst thing that happens, you have some fun making some cool shit. And all right. Anyway, I hope you thought that was cool. I'm gonna play that game some more. What was it, Zorlock? If I had more time, I'd be playing adventure games. I'd be playing Twine games all the time. All right, take it easy, and I'll see you in my next video. All right, be chill.